the open sea, vast, unforgiving and full of mysteries. For centuries, tales of ghost ships, vanished crews and unexplained events have captivated our imaginations. One such tale, perhaps the most enduring maritime mystery of all time, is that of the Mary Celeste. Imagine a fully functional ship, adrift but seemingly deserted. Provisions stocked, cargo untouched, but not a soul on board. The year was 1872, when the Mary Celeste, a seemingly ordinary brigantine, embarked on a routine voyage from New York to Genoa. On board were Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife and young daughter, and a seasoned crew of 7. Every ship has a story, a history etched into its timbers, and woven into the fabric of its sails. The Mary Celeste was no different. Originally christened the Amazon, she was launched in Nova Scotia in 1861, a sturdy brigantine built for transatlantic trade. Her first captain, Captain Robert McClellan, fell ill and died shortly after taking command. Despite this tragic beginning, the Amazon continued to sail, changing hands and names several times over the next decade. In 1869, the Amazon was severely damaged after running aground. Salvaged and repaired, she was re-registered as the Mary Celeste under new ownership. It was during this period that Captain Benjamin Briggs, a seasoned mariner with a reputation for skill and piety, entered the picture. The year was 1872. The Mary Celeste, freshly painted and loaded with a cargo of commercial alcohol, prepared to embark on a routine voyage from New York to Genoa, Italy. At the helm was Captain Benjamin Briggs, a man known for his meticulous nature and seafaring expertise. He was accompanied by his wife, Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia, and a carefully selected crew of 7 experienced seamen. The voyage began without incident. The Mary Celeste sailed out of New York Harbor and into the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean. Before she was the Mary Celeste, the ship was known as the Amazon. Built in 1861 in Nova Scotia, Canada, the Amazon was a sturdy brigantine designed for transatlantic trade. Her maiden voyage was plagued by delays and strange accidents. On her second voyage, she collided with another ship in the English Channel, suffering significant damage. Word began to spread among sailors that the Amazon was an unlucky ship. Then came the tragic fate of her first captain, Robert McClellan, who fell ill and died under mysterious circumstances. Despite these troubling events, the Amazon continued to sail, her hold filled with cargo and her decks manned by sailors willing to tempt fate. Little did they know that the ship's most enduring mystery was yet to come. The year was 1867. The Amazon, battered by storms and carrying the weight of its troubled past, found itself undergoing repairs in a shipyard in Nova Scotia. A group of investors, led by a Nova Scotian merchant named Alexander Burns, saw potential in the struggling vessel. They purchased the Amazon at a bargain price, hoping to restore her to her former glory and turn a profit. Under Burns' direction, the ship underwent a major overhaul. By the time she emerged from the shipyard, the Amazon was practically a new ship. To mark this new beginning, Burns decided to rename her the Mary Celeste. With her new name and a fresh coat of paint, the Mary Celeste set sail once more. In 1872, the Mary Celeste, now under American registry, was in need of a captain. Enter Benjamin Briggs, a seasoned mariner with a reputation for skill, piety, and a deep respect for the sea. Born into a family of seafarers, Briggs had salt water in his veins. He was known for his meticulous nature, his unwavering faith, and his unwavering commitment to safety. To him, the Mary Celeste represented not just a command, but an opportunity. He saw in her a chance to make a name for himself and provide for his young family. Seven men, each with their own stories, their own dreams, their own reasons for braving the vast expanse of the Atlantic, signed on to crew the Mary Celeste under Captain Briggs's command. There was First Mate Albert Richardson, a veteran sailor known for his steady hand and calm demeanor. Then there was Second Mate Andrew Gilling, a young man eager to prove himself. The ship's cook, Edward Head, was a jovial Irishman, known for his hearty meals and even heartier laugh. The rest of the crew, 4 able seamen, Volkert Lorentzen, Arian Martins, John J. Honorins, and Gottlieb Godek, were a mix of nationalities. These were the men who, along with Captain Briggs, his wife, and their young daughter, sailed aboard the Mary Celeste into the annals of maritime history. On November 7, 1872, the Mary Celeste, her hull freshly painted and her hold filled with 1,701 barrels of commercial alcohol, slipped her moorings in New York Harbor. The destination, Genoa, Italy. Captain Briggs, his young family by his side, guided the ship past the bustling wharves and out into the open sea. The crew, a mix of seasoned sailors and eager young men, settled into their duties. The Mary Celeste, her sails billowing like the wings of a giant seabird, caught the prevailing winds and began her eastward journey. The voyage had begun, a journey that would etch the Mary Celeste's name into maritime history. The initial days of the voyage unfolded with a predictable rhythm. Days melted into nights marked by the changing shifts, the creak of the rigging, the cries of gulls following in the ship's wake. Captain Briggs's log entries painted a picture of a routine crossing. The Atlantic, known for its unpredictable moods, offered a mix of calm seas and blustery squalls. The Mary Celeste, a sturdy brigantine, weathered these fluctuations with ease. Life aboard the Mary Celeste, though challenging and often monotonous, followed a familiar pattern. The Mary Celeste had been at sea for 17 days. Captain Briggs, ever the meticulous chronicler, made his final log entry. The ship, he noted, was approximately 6 miles off the coast of Santa Maria Island in the Azores. The weather was fair, with a light breeze. This entry, the last trace of life aboard the Mary Celeste, would become a focal point for investigators and historians. The Mary Celeste sailed on, her secrets locked within her wooden hull. When the Mary Celeste was discovered adrift and crewless on December 4, 1872, the state of the ship only deepened the mystery. The vessel itself was found to be seaworthy, with no signs of significant damage or distress. The cargo of commercial alcohol, though slightly diminished, was largely intact. Below deck, the galley was stocked with provisions. The crew's belongings remained untouched in their quarters. The Mary Celeste, far from being a derelict wreck, appeared to be a fully functional vessel, abandoned in haste. The most significant clue, or perhaps the most baffling absence, was the missing lifeboat. The davits, the arms that lowered the lifeboat into the water, were turned outward, suggesting that the boat had been used intentionally. But why? What could have prompted Captain Briggs, a skilled and cautious mariner, to order his crew into a lifeboat in the middle of the ocean? The lifeboat's disappearance fueled endless speculation. Had the crew abandoned ship in a panic, fearing imminent danger? Or was there a more calculated reason for their departure? The missing lifeboat, like a phantom limb, served as a constant reminder of the crew's absence, a tangible symbol of the mystery that continued to haunt the Mary Celeste. The lifeboat was never found, despite extensive searches. Did it drift away, lost to the currents? Or did it hold the key to the crew's fate, its whereabouts forever lost to the depths of the Atlantic? The missing lifeboat remained a central piece of the puzzle, a ghostly echo in the silence that enveloped the Mary Celeste. The date was December 4, 1872. The DEI Gratia, a British brigantine under the command of Captain David Morehouse, was sailing the trade route from Gibraltar to Genoa, Italy. The weather was clear, the sea relatively calm, a typical December day in the North Atlantic. As the DEI Gratia sliced through the waves, her lookout spotted something unusual on the horizon. It was another ship, a brigantine like their own, but she wasn't sailing a straight course. Instead, she was drifting haphazardly, her sails partially furled, as if abandoned by her crew. Curious, Captain Morehouse ordered his crew to steer closer. As they approached the mysterious vessel, a sense of unease settled over the DEI Gratia. The closer they got, the more apparent it became that something was amiss. The ship, clearly identifiable now as the Mary Celeste, was completely silent. There was no sign of life on deck, no response to their hails. It was as if they had stumbled upon a ghost ship, caught in a maritime twilight zone. Section 2. An eerie silence, boarding the abandoned vessel. Captain Morehouse, a cautious and experienced mariner, knew something was terribly wrong. He dispatched a boarding party, led by his first mate, Oliver DeVoe, to investigate. Armed with cutlasses in apprehension, DeVoe and 2 seamen cautiously boarded the Mary Celeste. The silence was deafening. The only sounds were the creak of the ship's timbers and the cries of gulls circling overhead. The decks were deserted, the ship seemingly abandoned. The hatches were open, the ropes coiled neatly on deck, as if the crew had simply vanished into thin air. DeVoe cautiously made his way below deck, his heart pounding with a mixture of fear and curiosity. The galley was stocked with provisions, the table set for a meal that was never eaten. The crew's belongings lay untouched in their quarters, as if they had stepped out momentarily and never returned. The air was thick with an eerie stillness, a sense of interrupted lives and unanswered questions. What had happened to the Mary Celeste and her crew? The boarding party found themselves standing in the middle of a maritime enigma, a mystery that would captivate the world for centuries to come. Section 3. A Captain's Log Clues Amidst the Enigma. Back on board the DEI Gratia, Captain Morehouse eagerly awaited news from his boarding party. When DeVoe returned, his face pale and his voice hushed, he carried with him a chilling discovery, the Mary Celeste's logbook. Captain Morehouse carefully opened the leather-bound volume, his eyes scanning the neat script of Captain Briggs's entries. The log entries told a story of a routine transatlantic crossing with no indication of any trouble or unusual events. The last entry, dated November 24th, placed the Mary Celeste some 6 miles off the coast of Santa Maria Island in the Azores. But the logbook offered no explanation for what happened after that date, no hint as to why the crew would abandon a perfectly seaworthy vessel. Morehouse and DeVoe examined the logbook, searching for clues, for any hint of what might have befallen the Mary Celeste. They noted the ship's position, the weather conditions, the lack of any distress signals. The logbook, a testament to Captain Briggs's meticulous nature, offered tantalizing details but no answers, only deepening the mystery surrounding the abandoned ship. Section 4. Signs of a Hasty Departure, Disarray and Disruption. As the boarding party continued their investigation of the Mary Celeste, they began to notice discrepancies, subtle hints of a hasty departure. While the ship itself seemed to be in good order, there were telltale signs of disruption. In the galley, a half-eaten meal lay on the table, as if abandoned in mid-bite. A single chair was overturned, suggesting a sudden break in the routine. On deck, navigational instruments were scattered, as if someone had been using them in a hurry. The ship's chronometer, a vital timekeeping device used for navigation, was found stopped, indicating a disruption in the ship's routine. These details, seemingly insignificant on their own, hinted at a sudden and unexplained event, something that had startled the crew and forced them to act quickly. But what could have prompted such a hasty departure? What danger, real or imagined, had driven the crew of the Mary Celeste to abandon their ship and vanish without a trace? Section 5. The Missing Compass, Navigating the Unknown. Among the missing items, one stood out as particularly significant: the ship's compass. The compass, a vital navigational tool, was gone, its binnacle empty. This discovery only deepened the mystery surrounding the Mary Celeste. Why would a seasoned captain like Briggs abandon ship without his compass? Had it been damaged, rendering it useless? Or had it been intentionally removed, perhaps taken by the crew for reasons unknown? The missing compass fueled speculation that the crew had left the Mary Celeste in a deliberate and organized manner, not fleeing in panic as some had suggested. Without a compass, navigating the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean would have been nearly impossible. This missing instrument added another layer of intrigue to the already perplexing case of the Mary Celeste, leaving investigators and armchair detectives to ponder its significance. Section 6. The Salvage Claim, a Reward and a Riddle. With the Mary Celeste confirmed as a derelict, a ship abandoned at sea, Captain Morehouse knew he had a legal and moral obligation to sail her to a safe port. He also knew that under maritime law, he and his crew could claim a salvage award for rescuing the vessel and its cargo. So, leaving a skeleton crew aboard the DEI Gratia, Morehouse and a handful of his men sailed the Mary Celeste towards Gibraltar, a journey of over 600 nautical miles. The prospect of a salvage claim, which could amount to a significant sum, was certainly a motivating factor. But for Morehouse, the mystery of the Mary Celeste ran deeper than financial gain. He was determined to unravel the truth, to understand what had happened to Captain Briggs, his family, and the crew. Little did he know that the salvage claim, far from providing closure, would only ignite further controversy and speculation, casting a long shadow over the Mary Celeste's legacy. The Mary Celeste, once a seemingly ordinary cargo ship, was now a vessel burdened with unanswered questions, a floating enigma that would challenge the very notion of what we think we know about the sea. Theories of natural phenomena. The Mary Celeste, adrift and deserted, became a blank canvas for theories. The sea, a capricious mistress, could unleash sudden fury. Could a natural phenomenon explain the crew's disappearance? One theory focused on the cargo of commercial alcohol, or perhaps a rogue wave had swept the crew overboard. Could a sudden squall have forced the crew to abandon ship? The sea was a realm of shifting tides and unpredictable currents. Section 2. The Shadows of Human Action, Piracy, Mutiny, and Foul Play. While natural explanations held a certain allure, others suspected a more sinister hand at play. The Mary Celeste, with its valuable cargo and relatively small crew, could have been an easy target for pirates. Had the crew been overtaken by ruthless buccaneers, their fate sealed by greed and violence? The possibility of mutiny, a dark and desperate act, also lingered in the air. Had tensions boiled over among the crew, leading to a violent confrontation and the elimination of Captain Briggs and his officers, the close quarters of a ship, combined with the stresses of life at sea, could breed paranoia and resentment. Could a simple disagreement fueled by alcohol or jealousy have escalated into a full-blown mutiny, leaving the Mary Celeste a floating tomb? Whispers of foul play extended beyond the crew itself. Could Captain Morehouse, the captain of the DEI Gratia, have orchestrated an elaborate scheme to claim the salvage award? Had he encountered the Mary Celeste under more sinister circumstances, eliminating the crew and staging the scene to appear as a mystery? Section 3. Into the realm of speculation, the unexplained and the unknowable. The Mary Celeste, with its hold of unanswered questions, invited speculation that bordered on the fantastical. Some whispered of sea monsters, colossal creatures of the deep, that had attacked the ship and dragged the crew into the watery abyss. Others spoke of extraterrestrial intervention, of alien beings who had abducted the crew for reasons beyond human comprehension. The Mary Celeste, frozen in time and adrift on the vast ocean, became a vessel for our deepest fears and wildest imaginings. Could the crew have fallen victim to a mass delusion, a shared madness induced by the isolation and monotony of life at sea? Had they imagined dangers, perhaps fueled by superstition or legend, and acted irrationally, leading to their demise? The Mary Celeste, like a maritime sphinx, offered riddles without solutions, clues that led to dead ends. Perhaps the truth, as elusive as the wind itself, lay in a combination of factors, a perfect storm of natural phenomena, human error, and sheer bad luck. Or perhaps the Mary Celeste, forever suspended between the known and the unknown, would forever guard its secrets. A haunting reminder of the sea's enduring mystery. The enduring allure of the Mary Celeste. A ship frozen in time, carrying unanswered questions, continues to fascinate and frustrate us. Despite over a century of investigation, the fate of Captain Briggs and his crew remains a mystery. No definitive answers have emerged, only more questions and theories. Was it the wrath of the sea, or a darker human element like piracy or mutiny? The Mary Celeste continues to sail the seas of our imagination, a symbol of the unexplained. Section 2. A Sea of Speculation, the Mary Celeste in popular culture. The Mary Celeste has transcended maritime history and entered popular culture. Its eerie story has captivated writers, filmmakers, and artists for generations. From Arthur Conan Doyle's short story to H.P. Lovecraft and numerous documentaries, the Mary Celeste is a cultural touchstone, symbolizing the unknown. Each retelling offers new theories or embellishes existing ones. The act of speculation is a testament to the power of its story. The Mary Celeste continues to navigate our collective imagination.